In the cold air, over the ice, and in the frigid water of the Arctic Ocean, the Canadian Armed Forces is flexing its muscle. This is Operation Nanook, the largest ever Canadian military training exercise in the Arctic, hoping to demonstrate our power near the pole to friends and foes in a more unstable world.
We're just outside Inuvik, some 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle.
That's where W5 was invited to spend 7 days with troops arriving from across the country.
Welcome to Inuvik. Welcome to Operation Nanook.
450 Canadian soldiers joined by 110 troops from several European countries and the United States. Upon arrival, briefed by Major Andrew Melvin.
The weather is incredible enemy force out here, but there is actual enemy considerations or adversaries. The People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation maintain an interest in the Arctic region.
Those Russians now embraced by American President Donald Trump in Ukraine, who has mused about making Canada the 51st state. Those who have his ear, including Steve Bannon, highlighting Canada's weaknesses in the north.
If you think you can actually secure the Arctic to the degree you need to secure it against the Chinese Communist Party and the Russians, and still have the rest of your defense budget and still make your commitments to NATO, you have not run the math.
Okay, so the pressure's on, right?
International pressure not lost on Lieutenant Colonel Darren Turner, leading what's known as the 8:30 a.m. Bob briefing. One headache, a plan to build an aircraft landing area on the sea ice was scuppered by warmer weather.
What we found was open water in February. You know, there's open water, so open water can be traversed, and so that allows possible incursion.
That changes the strategic picture.
That changes the strategic picture.
A newly released assessment by Canada's spy agency flags the Arctic as attractive, strategic, and vulnerable. The challenge: the North is 40% of Canada's landmass, but less than 1% of its people. Canada's Defence Minister Bill Blair has announced 3 new support hubs in the Arctic for the military, augmenting forward operating locations such as Inuvik. The Inuvik Airport's runway has already been expanded to welcome military jets. Those improvements must only be first steps, according to Canada's Chief of Defence Staff.
The Arctic is changing, the Arctic is evolving, and we can't rely on the environment now to protect us as well as it could in the past. So this is why we need to invest more, and we need to operate a better defense.
Despite international turmoil, Americans like Colonel Rob Donaldson told us ties between soldiers appear to be holding.
It's one of those things that brings us together, is just on the same common plane and being able to execute it successfully.
So you're not annexing us or 51st stating us or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
Local leaders pleased to see troops planting the flag.
51st state, no. Canada, yes.
Back in the briefing room, the soldiers say they're focused on the mission.
Part of this operation was securing the northern warning sites and showing our presence in the north.
For them, this is the training ground to show that Canada will defend the Arctic, and how.